This looks like your average home, but looks can be deceiving.
It's about 90% less greenhouse gas production from this house compared to the ones around me.
How did Jim Fielders do it?
Well, you've made some significant changes in the way you built this house. So the big ticket items that you did, what are they, and the biggest cost saving measures?
Yeah, the biggest one is the building envelope. So that's with the thick walls and the very tight vapor barrier. And as you can see on the display, the whole house is insulated. So that's not just the walls and attic, it's the foundation walls, the underside of the floor slab in the basement, and that includes the vapor barrier as well. So in essence, the house is in a plastic bag, and because of that, you need to get fresh air in and out. So we have a heat recovery ventilator that brings that fresh air in, and while it's coming in, the stale air, which is warm, it goes out and preheats the incoming air. So that again saves energy compared to, say, having a bathroom fan that just exhausts heated air.
Thick interior walls, energy efficient lighting, and solid wood throughout help keep the house warm and toxin free.
But so how much, when we're talking about dollars and cents here, how much does that actually save you in a year, let's say?
Well, my heating costs are about $350, and my cooling costs for air conditioning is probably around $150. Now this is a 4,000 square foot heated area of house, so it's 2,300 above and then another 1,600 in the basement. So when you compare that to other homes of that size, even new homes, I calculate that I'm using about 10% of the energy that other homes would use.
You've done a few other things too, like a metal roof and a porous driveway. Can you explain a little, like very, very short, a little bit about a couple other things, big ticket items that you did?
Yes, I wanted to be, again, environmentally friendly with building materials, so I tried to avoid use of petroleum-based products such as asphalt shingles and paved driveway. So it's a metal roof, and it's also maintenance issue. It's guaranteed for 50 years. Then there's wood siding that is also pre-finished and has a long time guarantee. I also have an instant water heater that saves energy in heating the water.
Why?
Well, I'm concerned about the environment, and I call it both human health and planet health. So the building materials, as much as possible, are non-toxic, environmentally friendly, such as you know, the solid wood floors and the ceramic tiles. Even our kitchen cabinets are solid wood as opposed to having particle board that off-gases formaldehydes. And the home is very comfortable in terms of temperature swings from one floor to the other, only about a degree per floor, and the humidity, to my surprise, has been much better controlled than I thought without having a humidifier or a dehumidifier.
So, Jim, at the end of the day, why do all of this?
Well, I think climate change is real, and we're in trouble for this planet. We're going to be filming or airing a film today about the acidification of the oceans and how that is affecting life on this planet and what humans can do about it.
So do you feel like you're playing your part here?
I do.
One important thing to note is that even though I've spent more building this house compared to an equivalent one built to code, I'm actually saving on a monthly basis starting from day one. The way that works is that I finance the extra amount and then compare that to my monthly savings, and I'm $163 ahead every month.
Well, and lastly, before we stop, I'm just wondering, like, you know, what your advice is for people who maybe can't afford to do all the same things that you did, but still want to, you know, lend a hand and do what they can.
Yes, a CMHC study that was done showed that the average home spends about $3,000 annually in energy costs. And there are 4 things that can be done to reduce those. In order, they are replacing the furnace, especially if it's an old, inefficient one, adding attic and basement insulation, replacing windows and doors, and finally improving the exterior wall insulation. This can save the homeowner about $1,000 a year, but the costs are not in the same order as the savings reductions. The most expensive is replacing the furnace, followed by exterior windows and doors, then exterior wall insulation, and finally the attic and basement insulation. So the best bang for your buck is to insulate or improve the insulation for your attic and your foundation. If we look at attic and basement insulation, there are rebates currently available through the Save on Energy program. To insulate would cost the average home about $2,000 to $4,000, and the rebates would be up to $1,500. So this would be an annual savings of up to $300. If you finance that on a mortgage or line of credit, it would cost you $80 to $1,500, and your net benefit would be cash flow positive.
Anything that I missed that you want to add?
Well, I like to say that in addition to saving energy and cost, I'm reducing greenhouse gases. And again, it's about 90% less greenhouse gas production from this house compared to the ones around me. And that's what's affecting climate change.
Okay, so tell us how you heat your home.
I heat the home with a heat pump, and what that does is takes heat from the outside air and pumps it into the house.
Okay, so how does it work exactly?
There are two exchangers, a heat exchanger in this outdoor unit and another one inside, and that allows the heat to be transferred from the outside to the inside.
And does it work just as cool in the summer months and just as warm in the winter months?
Yes, it actually reverses the flow so that it takes warm air out of the house and dumps it outside to cool the house in the summer.
So this is down by the lakeshore in Burlington. We ripped out all the grass. We've almost finished mulching everything. We got to put some pebbles around the cacti because they like that sort of thing. We're almost finished our planting, and you see we put pots over them, and for those who missed it yesterday, and mulch around them, and then just lift the pots off, and you're left with that. You just have to kind of fluff it up a bit. So this is a lawn replacement that I've kind of been calling a ground cover quilt, and Josh there has been doing a fantastic job. We redirected the downspouts this morning so that they will come into this rain garden, which fills this area, then this area, then this area here. It's very sandy soil, so these are fairly shallow rain gardens because it will drain away rapidly. We worked around the original plantings, things like Bergenia, bearberry, thyme, edging candy tuft, Carex platyphylla, I think it might be called blue leaf sedge, a few evergreens like creeping yew and Siberian cedar, and the native are creeping junipers, rock cress, all sorts of different things. Good old sedums. See them? Plant them. And you know, whenever you're on a landscape that's a little bit older, we touched up the interlock that was all settling here, and put in some stepping stones. One of the big things that people forget about is pathways. You got to get from A to B, so we just put in these stepping stones, just on a little bit of HPB, creates chipped clear gravel, high performance base, to get the meter reader back up the side here. And that's about it. She's almost good to go. Now remember, perennials, sleep, then creep, then leap. The first year, what you see is what you get. The second year, they grow a little bit, and the third year, they take off. This is a lovely little plant called Tidal Pool Veronica. Beautiful, true blue flowers and nice gray leaves, and it sits very low, much lower than it seems to be here. That's just because it was in the pots and got fluffed up. Yeah, let's do a slow pan. There we go. Little music in the background. A sassafras as a succession planting for the birch tree. By the way, I'm using my new iPhone 7. I know that's like 8 steps behind the times, but I don't want anything bigger than this. Looking really good. It'll take time to fill in. That time right there. Anyway, on that note, see you everybody.